Just let Claire know when she's live.
That's you live.
Just let Claire know when
Hello and welcome to our Cologne Nature Kindergarten, the home of the virtual nature school. As you can see today, I'm sitting inside the cottage because I've just popped in to get the ukuleles that are on the wall because we're going to be heading off into the sunshine for our exploration today. And we just thought we might take a little bit of music with us on our way. So today we're thinking a little bit about those rocks and crystals again, which have been so exciting. And I am loving all those amazing things that you're putting into Facebook. You're sending me emails. Don't forget to tag us in Virtual Nature School. If you're on Twitter, it's always good to see them. So today we're thinking about game playing. And as a little girl, I played all sorts of games with rocks. So let's have a little look at our film and I'll come back and we'll have a chat about your ideas in just a few moments. Hello and welcome to our film where we're going to be thinking about what we've already learned and thinking about what we're going to be exploring. It's been amazing to hear all of your ideas and see your beautiful photographs and your films. Some of the words that I'm hearing people talk a lot about are things about dinosaurs. We're having people designing shops on the side of their museums. We're having people talking about volcanicity and about volcanoes and the real difference between crystals and rocks. We've talked about our families who have got a lot of knowledge about rocks, especially when they're digging up and helping us in our garden. The skills that we've been learning today have been phenomenal. We've definitely been balancing. We've had to really concentrate to feel when it's right to let go of that stone. We've been focusing because without focus, you wouldn't have been able to create these amazing towers. Some of us have been measuring using centimeters. Some of us have decided to use perspective. And so Thomas is very cleverly, in one photograph, he looks taller than his tower, but in the other photograph, because he's further away, he looks like he's the same height. We've enjoyed working with our friends to make large towers and teeny towers. We've used our crane to help us build towers with rocks inside. We found wee characters in our construction sets and we've pretended they're workers either in our quarries or in our museums. And we've had help from Thomas to make crystals. So we have to be patient now to wait for those to form. This photograph made me laugh because it is a wonderful bridge and they've made a bridge by using eggshells. How clever is that idea? So inside our talking tub, we're going to be thinking a little bit about game playing. How can we make traditional games that use stones? And what started this was a conversation about the idea of hopscotch. Now, when I was a little girl, I played hopscotch, but I didn't have chalk. I had to use a soft stone to mark out what you call the beds. In Scotland, we call it the peavery beds, and we call hopscotch by a variety of different names. Some of them are peavers, another one is palal. So we have these different names that we give to games that are very similar actually all over the world. But when I was a little girl, we drew the actual shape of the beds with a rock, with a soft rock. And then we threw actually a shoe polish tin, but my friends had rocks that they would throw and some people now use these bean bags. But you can use all sorts of things to play hopscotch. The way that you create the beds or the shapes is up to you. Traditionally, you can start with number 1 and then you do 2 and 3 side by side and then 4 and so on all the way through it. But that's not the only way to play hopscotch. I wonder what design you could make if you started drawing your own. What number would you start on? Would you go up in tens, so it starts with 10 and 20 and 30? Would you do it whereby you go up in even more complicated numbers? So you do double numbers, you go up in 11 to 22 to 33. If you love numbers, then you should love creating your own scoring system for the game called peavers or hopscotch. Here's a different design. In this one, you have to hop 1, 2, 3 before you then put your legs on 4 and 5. So it's an example that there are many, many different ways of designing the game of hopscotch. That might be one of the things that you want to explore. Here's a completely different system. This one is from America, and this one is about using different shapes and different patterns. So they've gone from squares to triangles to a rectangle to arcs. So we could create a shape game that's also using numbers, that's using our stones as a throwing tool. In Scotland, we have a very famous game that we play called curling. And curling is also very popular in Canada, uses something called a curling stone. And you know, if you've got friends or family that play curling, that stone has to be able to slide across the ice. There's a game that I used to play called rock, scissors and paper, but you don't use a real rock or real scissors or real paper. You just use the idea of them. So what happens is that you use your hand to represent a rock, as you can see at the top with a fist, scissors, that's with the two fingers apart, and paper is with the palm of your hand, so that you can play games that when you're standing in a circle with your friends, you put your hand behind your back and you bring it out and you say rock, paper, scissors. And then you have to make your hand into one of those three shapes. So there may be somebody in your family that can teach you that game and you'll be able to have a go at rock, paper, scissors. We've been looking at jigsaws and using the idea of lines. So in these rocks, they all have lines of quartz going all the way through them. But you could do this same idea of drawing lines on stones with a marker pen. So you could draw straight lines across the stone, you could draw wiggly lines, you could draw angles. So that means that when you put all those stones together in a basket, you're going to have something like a jigsaw, because you're going to be able to reconnect all those shapes. So have a go at making squares, have a go at making circles, have a go at making long winding lines. Another easy game that you might want to have a go at doing is tic-tac-toe. Some people call it noughts and crosses. But in that game, you just need something that is the naught, the zero, and something that is the cross. So you might decide to even just use two different types of stone for this game, or you might decide to use the stone to put the mark on. In Poland, there's a game a little bit like jacks. This name, I think, is Kiełpie, but I might be wrong in that pronunciation. So if anybody speaks Polish, we'd really love to know how to say that properly. One of the things that you have to do is find 5 little stones. These are actually almost too big in this photograph. You want tiny stones because you play jacks by picking up the stones and catching them in your hand. Here's another game called Mancala, and again, I hope I've said that correctly. You need to go and find out how to play this game through doing some research. But it's all about starting off with a board with holes in it, or you can make the holes in the sand, and counting from blocks of 4 across the board. When I was a little girl, I have a memory that my dad took me to a beach, and we had a tower of stones like this that we made on the beach. And then we had to stand away back and try and knock down the tower. We called that ducks off, but actually there are lots of different names for it. So in India, it's called pithu, which is about taking a ball and knocking down a tower of something. And you don't have to play that on the beach. You can just play it anywhere, as long as you can make a tower objects that can easily be knocked over. So here are some things that you might find useful for designing your own games using stones. So first of all, you're going to need your stones and your rocks. You might find chalk quite useful to use, but if you haven't got chalk, you might find that some of your stones will make a mark on other stones because they're soft. You might want to see if you can find a ball. A bit of wood is quite nice to make a game board. If you haven't got a game board, we can always use our sticks to mark a line that we need to stand on, or to make a grid that we need to throw our stones into. The big Sharpie pens, those marker pens, are always quite useful for making lines and for drawing patterns onto our stones. I'm looking forward to hearing about all the games that you devise. I'm also looking forward to hearing about all the games that your parents and your grandparents and people in your family can teach you, because there's so many different ways that we can play with stones. Well, It's a day of game playing. And now you know why it was I felt that maybe taking a little ukulele along into the forest today might be quite a nice thing to do, because game playing is about having fun. It's about not worrying if you win or lose. It's about having a go. It's about designing and creating something that's unique to you. And so it's lovely to hear that we've got people from all over Scotland again with us. But today it's a sunny day. So how good is that? It's a perfect day for getting outside and having a go at designing a game and playing it with your friends and community. So one of the things I'd like to do now is to ask people to maybe share with me some of their ideas. Let's see who we've got. We've got Sky with us today. Sky, would you like to share with everybody your ideas of a game you might play? All right, Sky, let's unmute you.
First, I have to tell you about my crystal. I made it yesterday, and it was super fun. And
we tried the salt crystal. Grow to salt
very
crystal.
good. A salt crystal. And how did it go, Sky? Is it beginning to grow?
Not yet.
not yet,
Not really.
not today, but we have to wait for another week, maybe tomorrow.
We check them out. Yeah.
Yeah, in the fridge again. If it still, and if it like a crystal tomorrow, we can like, oh my God, that is super amazing.
That is super amazing. You're absolutely right. And I think when you see that crystal begin to grow, you realize how amazing they are. They are amazing. So,
But not now, because I'm so sorry that it didn't grow into a
Crystal. No,
a
not yet.
crystal. I don't like it to be not a crystal. I like it to be a crystal like
we have to wait.
these, like these crystal like that, and then we can decorate the our room. It's kind of like a decorate. We can decorate it, put it behind the window there, and if I feel that I want to get it, I just get it.
okay. Well,
Put it away from that.
it sounds like a great idea you have there, just to even put your crystal on the windowsill, because if it's in the sunshine, it might appear quicker than if you leave it in the kitchen or somewhere like that.
Oh, we let it in the
And
sunshine.
then the sunshine will make it dry when it's and we can put it in the fridge for tomorrow.
We can try.
Another day. We
Absolutely.
can still let it be in the fridge. We put it in the fridge, and my daddy did put it in the fridge last night, and it was super.
No, not really. Not really working. Oh, we try. We can try.
All right. So maybe you could try, if you've got enough salt, you could try one in the fridge. And
I do
one
have.
and see which one
Yeah.
makes the crystal first. That might be interesting.
Up the cardboard.
So how many cups did we have every time yesterday? 3. We made 3, so we can try.
Oh, you've got 3 crystals growing.
It was blue and red and green color.
Oh, beautiful. So not only do you have different colors, but you have different places where you can put them.
Yeah,
Oh my! And we use some of the no pencil, just only ice cream sticks.
Good idea.
And a Play-Doh and three awesome colors. It was blue and red and green.
Oh,
It's
they're going to be fabulous.
They
So tell
call
us, Sky, today we were thinking in our little film about playing a game.
last time I did make a hopscotch. Last time 2 times or maybe 3.
Made two times.
Or 3 times, 2 times or 3
But we
times.
didn't use stone at all.
No, just only chalks. Like my Baba make a square, and then I did the rest of the.
Yeah,
And then,
you draw.
and then I connect the dots, some of them. But
numbers.
yes.
Well, let's
I
see
thought
how you get on today, and you can have a go maybe at making a hopscotch again. That would be good.
I think.
Yeah.
I think I think I learned how to draw some of the numbers left, but only 3 and 2 now, and 1, because everyone teach me kind of the 2 have to be like that, and then
All right, you
the
can
1 should be like
you can write
this,
2
and
and
then
3 without the dot,
and the 7. It should be like another line like this, like the
straight
1.
line.
Well, that sounds fabulous. Sky, you are a star. Well, Star's the name of your sister, isn't it? But you are a star because you're very, very good at telling us all about your ideas. And I really love listening to your theories and things that you're going to do today. So how about we get busy and we get out there and you have a game of hopscotch, check on those crystals, and I'll come back at lunchtime and see how you've got on. Is that okay? Yeah. All righty, everybody. It sounds like people all over are ready to begin. Let's get outside and enjoy the sunshine. So I look forward to seeing you later on. Bye, Sky. Bye, Star. Bye. See you later.